Good morning, good morning. Lovely to kick off a second day of the International Business Women in Business Summit, and we have a fabulous way to start the day. A continuation of the conversation from yesterday, and if you haven't yet, you should watch Jean's first video. Jean is the queen of sales confidence, and she helps her. I'll deliver the crown later, Jean. And she helps her clients really step into their confidence in the sales process. And today she's going to talk about the top three reasons authentic selling wins in today's market. I'm delighted to have you in the room again, Jean. Over to you.
Well, thanks so much. We did talk a little bit about how to feel better about yourself when you're selling yesterday, and I'm going to present some really more key things that you can do for yourself when you're like analyzing why you feel confident or don't feel confident. Maybe you can write a few things down. I'm going to do a few little slides to kind of punctuate my tips so you can read those for yourself. So I wanted to let you know that every time I talk to women about selling, one of the key things that I hear over and over again is this word or this phrase, I don't want to feel salesy. Now, this is a word that seems to be used, I don't know, everywhere that I've been in the United States, maybe in other countries that the word salesy is used, but I have a news for you. That word is not even in that dictionary. It is a term that we've started using to describe people that have like this sales attitude or approach that is a little bit too forceful or aggressive, and we don't like it. So it's kind of been a problem now holding back the female entrepreneurs that I talk to and I coach and all these aspiring sales professionals of not wanting to feel salesy. And so that shifts their ability to authentically showcase their passion because they're holding back, they're worrying about how they are perceived. But what if we could turn the negative salesy stereotype, that aggressive, pushy, and manipulative behavior into a positive affirmation? So, in this talk, I'm going to share some key takeaways that will help you develop a more positive attitude about being perceived as authentic when you're selling. And we can break free from this fear and embrace our authentic selves and sell with more confidence. And it's going to take a little introspective work on your part to kind of think about who you are and how you present yourself to the world. So I'm going to share my screen for a second and get this set up. Hopefully it will work fine after I hit a couple buttons. So I'm going to call this Say Goodbye to Sales Fear. And when we're finished with this, we're going to find that we could become more authentic in our sales approach. So first you need to look at yourself as presenting your best package to establish your brand. And this is all about how to feel good about who you are. So think about your five best attributes. What do you think people think of about you when they're around you? What do they refer to you as? Are you kind? Are you trusting? Are you honest? All those really wonderful attributes that you want people to think about when they talk to you or interact with you. And then think about which ones that will help you succeed in your job. Because if you're selling something you want someone to buy, you want them to trust you. That would be a very important characteristic to have. And then when you're trying to establish yourself in your business, don't you need the support of others? And who are your raving fans? Who are those people you're going to put on your email list? Who are the people that are going to support you and help you move forward? Provide testimonials, past customers, reviews, all those types of things. Think of all those people that are going to help you move forward and how they support you. And then how think about how you want to be known. You want to be known for she is the expert at doing this, or I know that she'll do a great job for you because she is honest. what's that phrase people are going to say about you? And that, of course, is all part of your image and how your clients want to view you. Do you give great customer service? People refer you, say, I would work with her because she provides great customer service after the sale. I always know that we're going to get exactly what we need because she cares. So think about all those things that you are, because this is how your confidence will be displayed to other people because you feel good about yourself and all those great characteristics that you have. So, what are some of those negative traits of a salesperson that really turn us off? All those things that I've listed here: pushy, aggressive, maybe they're dishonest. They've sold you something that doesn't exist. You think that that was a great deal, and by the way, you'll never get it. It's just not going to happen. Have they manipulated you into buying something that you couldn't afford, taking advantage of you at a time when you were most vulnerable? They didn't have empathy for you. They weren't sincere. But seriously, if you think you're being salesy or like a salesperson, I bet most of you do not have any of those traits. But you're afraid that if you don't act a little bit more salesy, you're not going to get anywhere. So it's a very thin line to decide why I feel this way when I'm really not that person. And I would probably never sell to you using those traits. So it's important to kind of think about that. Think about the type of person you want to be. So, what are those positive traits of a salesperson that you want to be? So, list those traits, write those down. Think about what's important to you to convey to other people to want them to work with you. And I don't think pushy, manipulative, aggressive is going to be in any of those. So, this is how you develop your authentic traits that you want to put out there. And the habits of successful salespeople are people who question, people who listen, people who want to solve a problem, um, and being with the people that you know you can help. Identifying whether or not that's your ideal customer. It may not be your ideal customer. It may not be the person that really could use everything that you have to offer. And if you make those decisions in advance, you won't be wasting their time or your time. So you genuinely want to help people that you know you can work with. And you want to recommend solutions. You want to do the follow up and the customer care, as I mentioned before. And you want to stay informed on those industry trends because a lot of times they're going to look at you as the expert in your field, and being able to talk about what's happening in your field and being knowledgeable and educated provides a better image of you and your product, and that your belief in your product is going to be exposed to them, and they feel more confident about using you or buying from you, as I should say. So I know whenever I'm developing a relationship with people, I want them to know enough about me so that they can refer me or they can connect me. When I go to a networking event, it's really helpful when someone is looking for a specific type of service or product and they don't know, like, who do I talk to? And so maybe I'm having a conversation with you and you ask me that question. I'm really looking for someone to take care of my lawn, and I've had some bad luck in the past, and I want somebody who will really understand my needs and what I need to have done. And I'm going to say, I know that Fred over there is the best lawn guy in town, and I'm going to connect you with that person. And that's the same idea that you want people to say about you, so that you can say, you have to meet Sigrid because she's the one who helps women write the best books that are going to sell and find the right audience. And she knows all about the industry of publishing, and she'll take really good care of you. And isn't that what you want people to say about you? You want them to know you and like you. You've built relationships with lots of people, and they're going to connect you and introduce you in a way that you want to be seen and you want to be represented because you've established these great characteristics that you have about yourself that people know. So this is how you become a trusted advisor and you become sought after for your skills because of who you are. Not because you're a salesperson, not because that you make these quotas. You help people and you help them get what they need. So if you want to feel more comfortable about yourself during a sales meeting, don't feel like you have to follow a formula. Just feel like you want to get to know someone at the first meeting. Have this conversation, build rapport, do a lot of listening, and ask more questions so that you know exactly what it is you need to help them with. And show that knowledge and that credibility about the industry you're in or the products that you're selling. And then you can have solutions to present to them when it's time to take that next step for the whole product description and presentation. They know that you heard them, and that's really important. So, and I started with 3 tips for developing a positive attitude, but let's talk about all these. There's a lot more tips than just 3. So, if you want to be perceived as an authentic person when selling, just shift your mindset and remember, selling is helping, it's not pushing. And embrace it as an act of service that you're solving a problem or fulfilling a need for your client. And see yourself as the helper rather than a persuader, which persuading is important, but you're helping them as well. And then authenticity will just follow because it's part of you. And of course, you're passionate about your product, but show that you're passionate just in general about wanting to help them as well and connect with that enthusiasm and then share your story and your why about the product. He says, I would have a hard time trying to persuade somebody to buy something if I didn't really believe in it. And that comes through if you don't feel really good about what you're selling. That passion will just show, and then that creates the trust and that connection that you're looking for. So the process feels more natural. And then, above all things, just ask more questions and listen a little bit. I mean, listen and talk a little less than you would, because in the end, it's what you know about your client that is going to be the reason they're going to buy from you. So, truly understand your client's needs, ask those thoughtful, open ended questions, and listen actively and tailor that approach to offer the solutions they're looking for rather than having it scripted or forced. Isn't it kind of off-putting when someone calls you and they're reading from a script and you just know they don't really care about you. They're just trying to get through the pitch and then making sure that you say yes at the end and you don't feel like it's a personal approach. So always remember, keep it personal. Every sales situation is going to be different because everyone's personality is different. And that builds more rapport, and then that makes you look more authentic. So now that we talked about what salesy feels like to a lot of people, I've decided I'm going to still use that word, but I'm going to change it to make it a more positive affirmation than a negative one. Selling authentically like everyone sees you. And that's my message for you today. Let's change the word to make it more positive and in our favor. I hope you all feel like that could be helpful to your business.
Sorry, I couldn't talk because I had to write that down. That was so much fun. Selling authentically like everyone sees you is that's a great definition of salesy and such a perfect affirmation for all of us. I guess we are in the fortunate position of being truly passionate about our service and what we know we offer to people. And I guess the extra layer in terms of authenticity for some people who are maybe selling products that feel a bit less heart-based is find a way to really connect to the product. I think you said yesterday if it's a product that you use, talk about how you use it. Like find a way to tap into
Right.
a conversation about how you use it authentically and build your passion. I think it was someone years ago said, fake it till you make it. So if you and then they very cruelly said, and if you can fake enthusiasm, then you've got it made. But I think the key piece is actually to get to the point where that passion that you talked about just kind of oozes out of you. And if you are consciously not trying to sell in that first meeting, but you're passionate about the product, it will happen anyway, right?
And I also say to women, let's practice in your own personal life when you're speaking to a friend because you found something, just take it out of your purse and you found something that you love to use every day. And what is it about it that you want them to know
Yeah.
and you want them to like it too? So we do have a lot of passion for everyday things.
And then
So
we can
you
just apply that same approach.
translate it to that.
Yeah,
Yes,
lovely.
exactly.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jane, for sharing your wisdom and those tips. I'm sure there were more than three, just even before you got to that big long list. But so thank you for your generosity. I'm sure that your this and all of the work that you do makes a huge difference to women wanting to get out there and sell more and really feel good about it. So thank you very much.
Right. You're welcome.